Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to another predictions video, and in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Shields versus Cornejo fight. If you're new around here though and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, going into this fight, Shields is 13-0 with 2 KOs, and Cornejo is 16-5 with 6 KOs. This fight is for the WBA, WBC, WBF, and WBO World Middleweight titles. Shields' last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Marshall, and Cornejo's last fight was a win via TKO in round 1 versus Cunha. Shields is 28 and Cornejo is 36, so already there a big age gap. Cornejo's losses have come against Ibarra in 2021, Cruz Dezern twice in 2019 and 2018, Reese in 2016 and Ward in 2013. Since then she's on a 3-fight win streak currently, and in those she has never been stopped. This is a step down in opponent for Shields. She was supposed to be rematching Gabriel's in this fight, but something happened with Gabriel's not being able to get to the fight or whatever. I don't really know, but what I do know is that would have been a good fight because Gabriel's was the only person to have knocked down Shields and the only person to maybe have questioned Shields' ability at all. And of course Shields would have wanted to avenge that, and she might get a chance to at some point, but it will probably end up having to be in a different place, different country perhaps, different state, not too sure. But to be honest, like I said, this is a step down. Of course, like I've mentioned, Cruz Dezern has already beaten Cornejo twice, and Shields beat Cruz Dezern. I know that was in her debut, but still, to be fighting somebody who's lost twice to somebody you beat is never really something you want to do. But I'm sure she just wanted to keep active by this fight and just want to have a fight booked in and just something to work towards, as at the moment there's not really many other options of fights she can make easily at the moment. Shields is one of, if not the pound for pound best women's boxer around at the moment. I mean, realistically, if you think about it, Taylor currently, I mean, she's just lost, so that's going to have to put a bit of a dent in that kind of pound for pound best. I mean, of all time, she's still the best, most likely. But currently, I mean, Cameron, she's coming off the win versus McCaskill, and Taylor, Marshall's coming off the loss. Realistically, if you look at it, if you compare Cameron's record to that of Shields' record, you probably have to say Shields has got the better record in as a whole, so you probably have to say Shields is the pound for pound best women's boxer around at the moment. If I am missing anybody, I apologise. I mean, Serrano I'd probably say isn't, but even though she has had the more fights, I'd probably say she isn't, just because she's lost more to the likes of Taylor. Obviously it was close, but of course that plays a factor. Shields as a fighter, of course, she's a confident fighter, she's a fast fighter, she's a disciplined fighter, strategic fighter. She has, of course, lived up to the hype of that she had even just from the amateurs. She shuts down any kind of momentum opponents have, which I always enjoy to see, because even against Gabriel, she got knocked down, she came back stronger, she faced that adversity, and then she looked better throughout the fight. And I think, like I said, any kind of momentum anybody has, she shuts that down straight away and kind of uses it to boost her momentum. She often outboxes her opponents. She didn't really against Marshall, but she does against a lot of her opponents. She gives it a all. She's good on the inside, she finds good angles, she fights at a high tempo. She just kind of outfought Marshall. I wouldn't say she outboxed. It seemed like it was going to be the opposite way around. Marshall was going to try kind of slug it out a bit more, and Shields was going to try outbox, but it seemed like Marshall tried to outbox and Shields just kind of gave it everything and wanted a war. And it was weird to see that happen, and I don't know if that was a different kind of game plan for Marshall. It obviously didn't work, and probably isn't the Marshall which is the best version that she can fight at, and be interesting to see just for her fight against Cruz Dezern how she does. But that's going off topic. Shields, I suppose, are kind of negatives. She doesn't really have a massive amount of KO power ability. Not saying she's not strong enough to do it, but she just hasn't really on the record, and she's never really been able to do it. She can get a little bit overly emotional, I suppose, but when she's in her fights like against Marshall, you could tell that was everything, and to an extent that's a good thing. Sometimes it can be a bad thing because it can mean that you may be going in a bit reckless, but I think overall it's not that bad of a thing. And of course you can't overlook Cornejo, but let's speak about Cornejo. She has the height and reach advantage. She sets up her shots well. She's always moving. She boxes on the outside. I'd arguably say she's quite a natural boxer. She has more KO ability, showing for a record. She has a pop in her shots. She tries to dictate the fights and tries to slow the tempo down and fight at a tempo that she wants to fight at. But the fact that she can fight always on the outside, it's good. It's something that if she can use with her reach and her height, maybe she'll find a little bit of a advantage in that. But I just think Marshall had the height and the reach. She tried to fight on the outside. She tried to outbox. It didn't work for her, and I can't really imagine it's going any other way, to be honest. But she's been away for 2 years as well. She has lost to lesser opponents, like I said. She can wait too long to actually get stuck in, and obviously, like I said, she tries to slow the tempo, but she can wait a bit too long. She gets outworked, and the only thing that I could possibly say is Cornejo, of course, has the more knockouts and is coming off a big TKO victory. And Shields, I mean, she's been knocked down before. Obviously, she's faced adversity, but maybe there's possible questions about her chin. I don't really know. Maybe I'm just clutching at straws here, but Cornejo maybe can test that. That's the only real thing I could really see, but she would really have to wind up some big shots to be able to do that, and I don't know if she can do that in the minimal amount she'll throw. Shields is the favourite, and I think that Shields will win via TKO in round 9. Obviously, like I mentioned, Shields hasn't got mad KO ability, but I think Shields, if she can cut off the ring, use her strategic mindset, and just be outworking Cornejo consistently, then I think it's just going to be too much for her, and I don't think it'll be like a brutal KO or anything, but I think it'll be a TKO late on in round 9. And then there's a few fights I've got. I'm not really too sure, to be honest. Of course, Gabriel's might be a fight. The rematch there. The rematch against Marshall might be a fight. The rematch against Cruz Dezern might be a fight. I think whoever wins that fight, if Shields is going to rematch them, then it'll probably be for the super middleweight titles. Green is also somebody in the super middleweight division. I don't think anybody in the middleweight division is anywhere really realistically near Shields' level at the moment, so I think Shields is kind of being forced to go into different weight categories to be able to find challenges, to be honest. But I think there is fights out there. They're just going to have to be them big fights, and I'm interested to see, because this isn't on like a major promotion or anything like that. Obviously it's with DAZN, but it's not got a major kind of promotion company behind it, so it'll be interesting to see if anybody does end up snapping up Clarissa Shields. I don't know if it's a money thing or if she doesn't want to or anything like that, and if they do, then it'll be interesting who does, and if they do, then what fights might be available there. But I'm not entirely sure if that would happen, but I feel like it possibly could. But either way, that is it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. Like the video if you didn't, like this, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.